Cordelia. I'm head of people at KaFe Rocks. We are a leading iGaming affiliate, and we recently launched our newest brand, timetoplay.com.
So Time to Play has recently introduced a range of new employee benefits in 2022.
Yes.
So for those that might not know, can you tell us a little bit about what they'll entail?
We have recently launched unlimited vacation, a mental health package of 24/7 support, both on the mental health side, but also on the emotional support side. And then in addition to maternity, paternity, and then other leave, including bereavement and domestic abuse leave as well.
And what is it that you hope to achieve by doing this?
Employee well-being is really at the center of our business. A happy workforce is a more effective workforce, and really we want to be able to encourage people to have a really productive and a really healthy work-life balance. By giving people more opportunities to be able to spend time with family and friends, it will mean that people will be more engaged and hopefully working more effectively when they actually are at work.
The last 2 years have been quite tricky, so why has now been the perfect time to ensure that your new and existing employees can benefit from these package of measures?
Although the world has been a tricky one over the past 2 years with the COVID pandemic, for us, it's really been business as usual. We're a remote first company, so things haven't really changed at all for us. But what I've really seen since I joined the business in the summer is that as companies, we actually owe it to our employees to care about how they are both in work and outside of work. Being a remote company, we have much fewer physical touch points than we would if people were coming into the office every day. And so we think that this is a way to be able to support our workforce and to be able to make people realize that it's okay to have days when you're not feeling okay, and how we can then support people in that.
I couldn't agree more with that. You mentioned about kind of the remote working and kind of fewer touch points. How have you found that remote working impacts company culture at Time to Play? You know, how are you making sure that employees are both happy and healthy when working from home and the office?
I think this is such a big question, and I feel that we could speak for hours really about it because there are so many different points to it. But I really believe that Time to Play is very much output focused as a brand, and within KaFe Rocks as well. We don't mind when people work, it's just that they need to get their work done. I think gone are the days of home life having to fit in around work. It now can sit very much side by side. And I think the people that we look to hire within Time to Play are very entrepreneurial. Maybe they've come from setting up their own businesses before. Maybe that's kind of the mindset that they have. And we want to then be able to give people the freedom that if they want to take time off, that if they want to go and work from a different location, then that's something that we really support. And I think being a remote company, we also, we're one step ahead on the war on talent. We can attract people from literally all over the world. And we've hired people from almost every place around the world because we're not tied to an office. But I think we also have the best of both worlds because Time to Play can also benefit from the office that we have in Malta. We have one office called the Oasis, and really the vibe of the office is more like a working space. So it's very open plan. We've got a bedroom upstairs for people if they want to stay when they're visiting Malta. And we really encourage that. For people to come and stay, to spend time with the team. We have a beautiful barbecue area, a swimming pool as well. And really there's an element of, the social interaction so that if people are used to working from home, that then they can come to the office. And, often there are some projects which are better to be done face to face if they can be. And we see that with the office, people like to come in, once a month, once a week, and that's absolutely fine for us. If that means that they're able to be more productive and more effective, then we'll fully support that.
I mean, that office sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really lovely.
Now, something you touched upon, which I think is really, really important to address, is that Time to Play will be offering online services for mental health appointments. So what was the thought process behind this? And, taking an industry-wide point of view, what can other iGaming companies learn from this decision?
When we started to look at our benefits back in September, we started to have a look at ways that we could support people all across the world. And really what we started to see from looking at previous employee surveys, we also then sent out a company-wide survey of what benefits we do have now and what benefits would people like. And what we started to see was really a couple of themes around not necessarily vacation and not necessarily mental health, but around ideas around added support. and people being able to feel more supported with a work-life balance. So after having done the research, we then went and spoke to a couple of businesses, and we've now partnered with the Richmond Foundation in Malta that will be offering kind of 2 levels of support. So of course, a mental health support for maybe people who are reaching, a crossroads in their life and that they're really needing almost medical attention. We will be offering that, of course. But then the one that I think is so great is the emotional support. So this is for anybody who feels that they need to have somebody to talk to. Maybe they're not getting on so well with their partner at home. Maybe they're facing some kind of challenges. It's not that it's an issue yet, but it's to have somebody to be able to speak to and to make sense of their thoughts. And we're offering that 24/7 to all of our employees, all of our workforce at any time.
No, I think a lot of companies are going to follow in your footsteps with doing that, especially after the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I think, as I mentioned, because we are remote first, sometimes it's difficult to see with our workforce how happy, how engaged, how challenged, how potentially stressed people may or may not be. When you physically see people, it's quite easy to be able to tell whether they are experiencing those kind of signs. So for us to be able to offer this service, it's 100% confidential. We've asked people to book in either via their email address, or if they don't want to give their email address, it'll be an anonymous employee number. And then the idea is that we'll just get 6 monthly and annual reports from Richmond just to let us know how many people have used the service. And if there are maybe potentially any themes that we can then support with the people department to be able to, avoid it if there are kind of certain themes coming up. Time to Play, we are actively recruiting at the moment, looking for, real A players. And we're super excited to see what this year brings. With the launch of these new benefits, this is really only the start. And I think, we took inspiration from businesses outside of our industry, because I think although our industry is really groundbreaking in many ways, there's also a lot to be seen from other businesses. Bolt bringing in the 4-day working week. That's something which is really exciting. But really, the 4-day working week and unlimited vacation, at the core, it's still the same, trust, accountability, and empowerment. You have to have all of those to be able to offer those types of initiatives. So yeah, just really looking forward to this year and seeing what else we can do to, really be employee wellbeing led.